Picture this. It's August in Cleveland, and the entire city is holding its breath. One injury, one young quarterback, one decision that could either launch the Browns into Super Bowl contention or send them spiraling into another season of heartbreak. What you're about to hear isn't just about football. It's about dreams, desperation, and the brutal reality of life in the NFL's most unforgiving division. Imagine being Kenny Pickett right now. You're 27 years old, you've been traded twice in 3 years, and you're staring down what might be your last real shot at becoming a franchise quarterback. But there's one problem. Your hamstring just gave out during practice, and the entire Browns organization is watching to see if you can handle the pressure when everything's on the line. This is where it gets crazy, folks. Because while Kenny's lying on that training table, getting his hamstring wrapped and wondering if his career is slipping away, there's something much bigger happening in Cleveland. The Browns aren't just fighting for starting quarterback, they're fighting for their souls. Let me paint you the full picture here. Deshaun Watson, the guy they mortgage their future for, is sitting on the sidelines with an Achilles injury that'll keep him out for at least the first 4 games. The pressure is mounting like you wouldn't believe. The front office is sweating bullets. The fans are getting restless. And suddenly this kid from Pittsburgh, Pittsburgh, their biggest rival, might be the guy who saves their season. But here's what makes this story absolutely wild. Kenny Pickett wasn't supposed to be here. Think about it. The Steelers drafted him in the first round, had him for 2 seasons, then decided he wasn't their guy and shipped him off to Philadelphia. The Eagles took one look at him and said, "Thanks but no thanks," and sent him packing to Cleveland. 3 teams in 3 years. Most quarterbacks would be broken by now. Kenny's sitting in that Browns facility, probably wondering if this is just another stop on his NFL journey to nowhere. His stats aren't exactly screaming franchise savior: 4,765 yards, 15 touchdowns, 14 interceptions over 3 seasons. A completion percentage that barely scrapes 60%. On paper, he looks like just another quarterback who couldn't quite make it. But wait until you hear what happens next. Kevin Stefanski, the Browns head coach, calls Kenny into his office. And instead of delivering bad news about the injury, he does something that changes everything. He looks Kenny dead in the eye and tells him that this hamstring setback isn't going to derail his shot at the starting job. That they believe in him. That they're going to be patient with his recovery because they see something special. Can you believe this? Here's a kid who's been cast aside by 2 teams, dealing with an injury at the worst possible time, and suddenly he's got a coaching staff that's willing to bet their jobs on him. The medical staff confirms what everyone's hoping. It's not a severe injury. Kenny will be back on the field Friday, participating in limited practice sessions. Little did they know, this moment would become the turning point that nobody saw coming. Because while Kenny's rehabbing that hamstring, something incredible is happening in the Browns quarterback room. Joe Flacco, the veteran who's seen all, pulls Kenny aside. This is the same Joe Flacco who won a Super Bowl, who's been through the highest highs and lowest lows of NFL life. And he tells Kenny something that hits him like a lightning bolt. "Kid," Flacco says, "I've been watching you. You've got something that can't be taught. You've got that fire in your eyes that champions have. Don't let anybody tell you that you don't belong here." This is the moment everything changes for Kenny Pickett. Because for the first time in his professional career, he's not just fighting for a job. He's fighting for a team that actually believes in him. The Browns aren't just hoping Kenny recovers from his injury. They're building their entire season around the possibility that this quarterback, who was discarded by 2 other teams, might be the missing piece they've been searching for since they returned to the NFL. Think about the pressure he's under right now. The preseason game against Carolina is just days away on August 8th. The season opener against Cincinnati, their division rivals, is breathing down their necks. Every practice rep matters. Every throw is being scrutinized. Every step he takes on that recovering hamstring is being watched by coaches, teammates, and an entire city that's desperate for a hero. But here's what's absolutely mind-blowing about this situation. The AFC North isn't just competitive, it's a bloodbath. You've got the Ravens with Lamar Jackson, the Steelers with their suffocating defense, the Bengals with Joe Burrow. And then there's Cleveland, trying to piece together a quarterback situation that could make or break their season. The Browns' defense is elite. Their offensive pieces are in place. Everything is perfectly positioned for a championship run, except for one crucial question mark under center. And that question mark has a name: Kenny Pickett. What happens next is something you won't believe. Kenny doesn't just recover from his hamstring injury, he comes back stronger, more focused, more determined than anyone has ever seen him. because he realizes this isn't just about football anymore. This is about proving that sometimes the guy everyone gives up on is exactly the one who refuses to give up on himself. The Browns are betting everything on a quarterback who was supposed to be done. A city that's been heartbroken for decades is putting their faith in a young man who understands what it means to be counted out. And Kenny Pickett is about to show the entire NFL what happens when talent meets opportunity and desperation turns into determination. This isn't just a story about a hamstring injury or quarterback competition. This is about second chances, about believing in yourself when nobody else will, and about how sometimes the most unlikely heroes emerge from most impossible circumstances. Cleveland is ready to find out if Kenny Pickett is their savior or just another chapter in their long history of almosts and what-ifs. But one thing's for certain, this season is going to be unlike anything we've ever seen in the AFC North. Because when a city that's been waiting for a championship for this long finally gets a glimmer of hope, anything can happen. The question isn't whether Kenny Pickett will be ready for Week 1. The question is whether the rest of the NFL is ready for what Cleveland might become when their backup plan turns into their master plan.